Good morning. Or maybe it's the afternoon. Or maybe it's the evening. In any event, welcome to Lesson 3. In today's lesson, we're going to define and apply some key science terms that we've been using in the previous lessons. Before we get started, though, I need you to have a pencil, and I also need you to get your journal slip applying key science. You can download that slip in today's Schoology folder. You probably also want your science journal handy. As we move through today's screencast, you'll want to pause to write down the meanings of these key science terms on your journal slip. Now, motion is a term that we've been using quite a bit, but how exactly would you define this term? You might say that motion means something is moving, and you'd be right. More scientifically, though, we can say that motion is the change in the position of an object over time. Are you writing this down? But an object is only set in motion when there's an applied force. To define this term, we would say that an applied force is a push or a pull that one object or person applies to another. In other words, an applied force can cause motion. And then we have the terms gravity and friction. Both are forces. Gravity, though, is the force by which a planet or other body draws objects towards its center. On Earth, gravity is what keeps us on the ground. And friction is a force that opposes motion, that slows objects down. Now, let's apply these terms to an everyday scenario. Take a look at the picture on your screen. Where do you see an applied force, motion, gravity, and friction operating? Pause this screencast and write down where you think each term belongs in the picture. Okay, so you probably see that Mosa is applying a force to her friend. This force puts the skateboard in motion. But the sidewalk is bumpy, and friction will be a force that opposes the motion of the skateboard, slowing it down. And of course, gravity is operating on all objects, but especially to that falling apple that's about to hit that poor unsuspecting member of the Mosa team. In what other ways do you see these four terms operating around you? I want you to stop and look around the room you're sitting in right now. Or maybe even get up and look outside. Where do you see friction working? How about gravity? Are there any applied forces causing motion that you can find? Pause this screencast and draw out a scenario like the one on your screen, labeling it with the four terms. Now, if you're done with your journal slip, you are ready to take the 5-point Google form Check for Understanding. It's a way to show evidence of today's learning. The link for this Google form can be found in today's Schoology folder. Tomorrow, we're actually going to do some mini investigations to explore forces a bit more deeply. Until then, though, I want you to keep thinking and keep learning.